Hey YouTube, this is Firewizard23 and I want to do another book review. This is my book review of The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane by Kate Dicamillo. First off, I love Kate Dicamillo's books. She has a really good writing style. I have to admit there's one or two here and there I haven't really cared for the main premise of the book, but this one, I get nothing but good vibes from this book. As per the usual, spoilers, this book talks about a China doll named Edward Tulane, who is the property of a young girl who I want to say his name's Sarah. I might have that wrong, but I believe her name is Sarah. But a little girl. He's the property of a little girl. And he's a very stuffy toy. I mean, he doesn't talk or anything, but his internal narrative suggests that he's very stuffy about himself. The family is very, very rich. He is this very opulent, pretty doll, and she dresses him in all these very fine clothes, and how clever he looks. He goes on an ocean voyage with the family, through a set of events here and there, and a set of bully boys, he's actually thrown overboard from the ship. And he is found, as time passes, through a series of new owners, each time his life changing and the conditions of his life just degenerating. He comes into possession of, I want to say like an old couple where he's dressed in a dress and given a female's name. He's put in the possession of a little boy with an abusive father and a little girl who's dying. And we watch him gain an acceptance and an appreciation for every situation of life that he's in. And I have nothing but respect for the inherent message of this book, which is the idea that no matter what your stage of life is, not only could it be worse, but you can find some kind of appreciation for the life that you have now. That you don't have to stand there and worry and wonder about the life that came before you or the life you could have, but that this life you're living now can be important and can have value. Of the very last of his lives that he lives, he's actually essentially a slave. And through a very malicious attempt, he's actually broken over a counter. He is reconstructed. I don't know if it's meant to be kind of like an afterlife type sequence, but he's reconstructed by a doll maker, and he just waits on a shelf, on a doll shelf. And finally, there is another little girl who comes in and sees him, and it is the mother who picks up Edward, looks at him, and calls him Edward. And it is the little girl who lost him all those years ago. The book is very kind of loosey about time, but I believe that's intentional. And so he ends up back with the original family he came to, and it is a wonderful story for him to have perspective on his existence, of what he has and how he should value it. Again, that it can be worse, but that regardless of what life he had, he could have value in it. And I think it's so magical. I said spoilers, but I hope I really haven't ruined it. Please, if you have not read this book, I don't care how old you are, go to the book section, go to your bookstore, pick up this book, go to Amazon, go to your Kindles, whatever. Please read this book. It is so good. If it was my decision, this book would be in every, I would say, grades 5 through 7. Maybe it reads a little bit heavier than that, but I feel like the message is something that really can be talked about with kids, and it's such a deep message for kids to see, and I really recommend anyone please read this book. It reads very, very quickly, and it's such an enjoyableness, and it leaves you with that really good sense of a good it helps you to understand your life, that you can find value and substance 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 in the life you are living now, and you can appreciate that life. That's gonna about do it. This is Firewizard23. Take care and bye bye for now, everybody.